View for the Stepfather, 1987, starring Terry O'Quinn, directed by Joseph Rubin. So the synopsis: after murdering his entire family, a man marries a widow and a teenage daughter in another town and prepares to do it all over again. And if you could do me a favor and smash that like button, that'd be great. Really helps with the algorithm. And now on to the review. So I've heard of this movie before. My brother kind of reminded me of it and told me to watch it. And it's kind of famous in the horror community. It's a popular movie. And Terry O'Quinn's an interesting actor. If you've seen Lost, he is in that. He is bald, so he looks a little different. And of course, it's like 30, 25 years later or whatever. But very interesting actor. He's very good in Lost. And in this, he's amazing. Terry O'Quinn's a lot of fun. You can tell he's having the time of his life playing this psycho stepfather. And he's done this before. He's a like a family killer, and he kills his family right away in a very brutal scene. They don't show him doing it, but he's kind of collecting his stuff. He cuts all of his beard off. He's just slowly walking around, putting all his stuff in a briefcase, and then he walks down, and you see this hand on the wall. I really like this shot. This hand on the wall, kind of scraped against the wall, and it's this bloody hand. His family's below him. Then he walks over them and leaves the house and disappears. The police never figure out who did the murders. Or, well, they know it's him, but they don't know where he went. He could be, gone out of the country. Who knows? It's in the Seattle area. And he ends up going to a town it's not that far away. It's pretty close. I think it's like 50 miles or something. And he does it all again. I thought it was a little ridiculous, though. It's like, why don't you leave the state? I don't know. But it is the 80s, so maybe it's easier to disappear. And yeah, and then it cuts to him with another family. So there's a time jump. And he is dating Shelley Hack. And she has a daughter. And he's basically trying to create the perfect family. But he's crazy, and if things start to go wrong, he kind of just like abandons it all, kills them, leaves, starts another a life in another family. So she has a daughter, and she kind of finds him creepy. She doesn't really like him. He's trying to ingratiate himself with her. He ends up buying her a little dog, to kind of help. And Terry O'Quinn's very, very good actor. Because like in the scene when he buys her a dog, she likes it, and then she could tell that the daughter still doesn't really like him. Like, she doesn't even say thank you. And then the mom's like, "What do you say?" She's like, "Thank you." Then she leaves. And I like that scene, because then he says to the woman it's actually he's her fiance. No, I mean, sorry, they're married, recently married. And he says to her, "Oh, am I trying to buy her love?" And she's like, "No, she wanted a dog." And the emotion that Terry O'Quinn gives, um, I just think he's a very underrated actor, and it's just too bad his career never really took off. But Anyways, this is a pretty simple movie. He's a real estate agent. He's been selling some houses in the area. There's another guy that's looking for him because he was the brother of his ex-wife that he murdered in the beginning of the movie. And he's looking for him. The case has gone cold. The police aren't very interested in this anymore. They're like, he disappeared, it's over. And then he's starting to put together that for the past couple weeks, he would leave, go back, and act like he was going to work, but he actually quit his job a few weeks or a month before he killed everyone. So he's like, he was going somewhere, setting up a new life when this was all taking place. So he kind of has like an area that he thinks that he could be in, which he's correct about. And then he's also looking for him. So there's kind of two plots going on at the same time. And that actor is Stephen Shellen. And then the daughter has been having some problems in school. She's been getting into fights, been getting suspended, and having to do has been getting suspended, and also having to do detention and stuff like that. She ends up getting expelled, and I guess this is where I get into spoilers, but it's been out for almost 40 years, but spoilers. So overall, I like the movie. It's very well done. One complaint is, I mean, the music it's a little cheesy, but it is effective though. So, but it's a little cheesy, but it is effective. And yeah, we'll get into spoilers now. Um, so she then gets into more fights. She ends up getting suspended. She's been going to this therapist to help her because a year before her actual father died. I'm not sure if they say how, but um, and um, and then there's this really hilarious scene with Terry O'Quinn when he's at the dinner table with them, and he's like, girls don't get expelled. It's like, I don't know. It's like the way he says it. It's just hilarious. So, um, but yeah, and as you could, kind of figure out, he ends up trying to kill this family too, because they disappoint him in one way or another. Because he ends up killing the therapist because he wants to talk to him. He ends up meeting him at one of his houses he's trying to sell. There's no one there. He ends up killing him, putting him in his car, rolling him up, and he blows up the car. So, and the daughter ends up finding out about this, he met with him. So she then suspects that it's him. She's been digging, trying to find out if the other killing was him, because she's, it was in the newspaper and stuff. With never a picture of him though, which is a little cheesy. It's like, what you would think that they would have a picture of him. Hey, we're looking for this guy. He killed his whole family. Is he nearby at least? Is he in the same state? But that's kind of a negative. It's like, I think he would move to another state, but there are reasons in the plot why that is not so. But favorite scene, I'd say, is actually maybe the opening with him walking downstairs and there's blood everywhere. It's very creepy, very well done by the director. And then also there's a scene later in the movie where he's talking to his new wife, and she kind of calls him on his BS, and then he says his old name, and then she's like, wait, that's not your name. And then he's like, wait, who am I here? It's like very creepy scene where he's kind of showing his his psychosis or whatever you want to call it, his craziness. And then he basically, they find out, and he kills, and he starts to trying to kill both of them. And he tries to kill her. He throws her in the basement. She's injured. And then he tries to kill the daughter who comes home. It is a little convenient though, because the guy who's been looking for him ends up showing up there because he's kind of going door to door of newlyweds because he figures he'll be married again, which is true. He's going door to door, trying to meet the husband, and see if it's him. And then, he knocks on the door, he opens the door, and, then he starts fighting him. He pulls a gun out. But then he already has a knife because he's hunting the daughter who ran upstairs. So he kills him. The guy drops the gun. He goes upstairs to finish off the daughter. And then the mother crawls out of the basement and ends up shooting him. And he also gets stabbed too. But yeah, I think that this movie it's really the standout is Terry O'Quinn. I think all the other actors are really good. The mother and the daughter are very good. Also, Shelley, Jill Sholin is Shelley Hack's friend, and she is a post office delivery person. And this is pretty good too because he ends up getting mail from what they say is his high school, and then she calls him because she already suspects that he's weird and creepy. She doesn't like him, and let's see here. But she's very good in the movie too. I would say I really like everything that happens with her. Also, but yeah, I think this movie's a lot of fun. That there was a remake of it in the early 2000s. I hear it's terrible. I didn't watch it. I did watch The Stepfather 2. I'll probably be doing a review of that. It's not as good, but I thought it had its moments. Terry O'Quinn's in it again. I did think it was kind of cheesy that he's back because he was shot twice, stabbed. You think he'd probably die from that, but no, he doesn't. Very Hollywood thing, but yeah, the director of this, Joseph Rubin, um, director of Dreamscape, The Good Son. Okay, you could definitely see some influence, his touch in other movies that similar to this. The Stepfather, Sleeping with the Enemy. Again, a guy. I haven't watched that movie in a long time, but remember he tries to kill Julia Roberts. I think they're dating. The Good Son, Money Train. I don't really like that movie, but yeah, he did The Forgotten. It's with Jodie Foster, right? Oh no, that's Julianne Moore. Sorry, but solid director. I mean, as far as I remember, I think this is probably his best. But I haven't seen a lot of his other stuff. He did Joyride, 1977. So, but if you haven't seen this, I definitely recommend it. Um, there's a second movie. There's a third one, but Terry O'Quinn isn't in that one, and I don't know. He gets like facial reconstructive surgery, and I'm not sure about the third one, but Roger Ebert gave it 2.5 stars out of 4. Stepfather tells his story in a blood-soaked thriller that is uneven but haunting. While I was watching the film, I was distracted by elements of the idiot plot syndrome, moments when only an idiot would have made such an obvious mistake. Now, remembering the film several weeks after first seeing it, what I recall most clearly is the central performance by Terry O'Quinn. He is a journeyman actor from TV and many movies, usually in supporting roles, and you may or may not have recognized him. What's clear at once is that he is a strong actor, and given the leading role, he brings all kinds of creepy dimensions to it. He has the thankless assignment of showing us a completely hateful, repellent character, and he approaches the task as an exercise in cloying middle class good manners. He is obsessed with the vision of a perfect family. He wants each of his families to be perfect. When they disappoint him, as every family eventually will, he starts shopping around for his next family and his next identity. When he has it lined up, he murders his family. Stepfather is very effective in presenting that character. Unfortunately, it takes place inside a plot that has too many distracting loose ends and oversights, avoidable errors, and idiot plot mistakes. Why did the movie have to be a thriller at all? Why not simply a character study? There were box office considerations, I suppose, and yet the thriller aspect of the film are the least satisfying. It's distracting to sit in an audience and know that a movie character is doing something that makes no sense and is doing it only so that the plot can move forward. So I would agree with that, though. I think the best thing in the movie is Terry O'Quinn, definitely. So the Shulin did almost of her own stunts in the climax. Stephanie is 16-year-old, but Jill Schluin was 23 at the time. That's right, she's the daughter. Never mind. I was getting it mixed up with the sequel where the woman he's dating has a friend who is it works in the post office, and she ends up uncovering that he is a phony. So sorry, I got that mixed up. But she's actually the daughter of the mother that he just married. So, the cinematographer was hired as a last minute replacement for the original director of photography, who was arrested in a domestic disturbance dispute right before shooting was to start. Entertainment Weekly ranked this as the 22nd scariest movie of all time. I'm not sure I agree with that, but I do kind of see what they're saying because it can happen. There are men and women who kill their whole families, so it is very creepy. And you know, this movie was shot in 40 days. Wow, that's pretty quick. So, um, but I think that's about it though. The Stepfather, 1987, Terry O'Quinn, great performance. So check it out. That's about it. Like, comment, subscribe if you can, and see you next time.